You beat it. 0 to 60, man.
Whoa, what can you say about that? An absolute dream buck. He's down right there, baby. Let's go.
He's down right there. Dude, you freaking did it. Oh, man.
Insane night. Season on, game on.
Man. Gotta go do some walking, right? Mr. Joey found Joey.
Matched them up.
I'm so happy right now.
Oh my goodness. That'll be the biggest shed we find all year right there.
Here, how about this?
Hey, are we running a charity program over here or what?
Aiden's just
Come on now.
Aiden's a minute too late. You were 30 seconds too late.
That is the big 9 we were looking for.
This is actually the deer that I wanted to find the sheds to this year.
It's one of the ones we were after. That'd be crisscross.
I want to say this one could be the deer that Joy was like trying to shoot.
Look at that. We'll find them like that every day. Oh, dude. That's Junior. Look at that.
We are down at the homestead today, the new property. The dream is continuing to come true.
Dude, it's the big bladed brows. Heart's racing. It's him. Dude, what are the chances?
Here we are in the new and improved corner food plot, and this is probably my most exciting project that I've done so far with 1 year of ownership on the Buck 40.
So we are really, really excited about this spot with this pinch point we've created, the green to grain transition. If he comes through here, he's gonna be within bow range. It's gonna be awesome.
Holy crap, dude. This is about as good as it gets. I mean, this is phenomenal.
Should be able to shoot at the path, should be able to shoot in plot. We ended up putting this in mostly because of 6x5's late season movement, but fingers crossed it'll keep him around just a little bit later into the October month.
Elevated on that tree right there.
Well, we just checked that camera and we can absolutely confirm one thing. Big deer on camera. He's walking through here often.
This is a spot that the bladed 8 and broken 4 buck heavily used. Those are the two main ones that I'm really going after this year.
That tree stand is new. This green spot right here is new. So greens and beans, I think, is as good as you can do. We'll see this fall. Who is your best buddy? Daddy. Daddy.
You like it?
I like it. We have the greens, we have the grains, the entry and exit to get in here. We're gonna go ahead and do this work in hopes that something does come in, make this its core area.
This is about the finishing touch on this plot, and it's gonna be a sweet spot. You know, when you get to stand in here, it all kind of comes to fruition. The smile gets on your face, so.
We didn't even hunt this place last year. Stick showed up and then he was broke off real early, so we're gonna have to get on him early season.
I am standing in the middle of what should be the fall plot, but we're still battling the no rain, so.
Come right here and look under there.
You know what that means?
Shoot a buck.
It's almost time.
I know it. Well, welcome back to Midwest Whitetail, guys. We are officially at the beginning of the 2025 season, and it's hard to believe it's already here. And we just finished wrapping up the Chasing November series. Thank you so much for following along and for the support on that series. Had a great time with that one, and Gavin and the guys did a great job putting that together. For those of you that entered into the opening day giveaway, stick around to the end of the episode, and Josh is going to announce the winners and explain to you guys how to claim your prizes. Well, as I mentioned, with the start of the season comes all of this semi-live content. We've got a lot of it coming your way. We've got seasons open in some states. We've got youth seasons coming in. We've already got some action on some of the teams across the regional series. You guys can follow along with those weekly episodes on the regional channel. And then we're kicking off, of course, our Monday main show that you're gonna find right here on the main channel every Monday. And for those of you who really like following along with the daily grind, we've got that daily blog series over on The Chase, which follows along with a handful of the team members and the day-to-day grind of the season. On today's show, we're gonna jump around and get updates from a lot of the team members and get a little bit of hit list action in there. Not everyone's got a target buck listed out just yet, but a lot of guys have been getting a lot of the end of the summer prep work done, and we're all looking forward to get the season going. As far as I'm concerned, we got youth season open up this Saturday here in Iowa, and the kids are super excited. Bella's going to be up to bat first, and part of that is because I'm actually leaving tomorrow on a trip to Ontario. Me and some buddies are going up to Northern Ontario on a waterfowl hunt. We're going to do some grouse hunting. I'm even got an archery black bear tag up there. So I bought this hunt at a fundraiser at the Iowa Sportsman's Club a couple years ago and just never booked it, and finally decided to get it going, and really looking forward to the trip, but definitely getting a little anxious about missing opening weekend. Bella, of course, is old enough. She's 14 now. She's like, I don't need you to come hunt with me, Dad. So she's looking forward to going hunt with either Rye or one of the other guys, and hopefully laying down one of the bucks. We're going to be targeting that Tony buck on the river farm. He's getting up there in age, and he's been a nemesis for the group over the last few years. So we're really hoping that Bella can catch up with him this opening weekend of youth. I made a few modifications to the south end of the river farm there, which is usually where he hangs out in the summer and early season. We've got the bean plots, and we put in the rut greens, the monster buck rut greens mixed into the beans, as well as some radishes right in front of the blind there. And the acorns are really falling this year with all the rain, and it's shaping up to be a really good early season, so we're looking forward to some of that action. And then opening day is not too far away, October 1st. Well, I don't have a buck I'm basically lined up and ready to go on. I've actually still got some projects that I need to get wrapped up. I've still got some stands to get hung. It's just been chaotic, as I mentioned. That split G2 buck on the new property, he hasn't been around for the last 6 weeks, and so I'm not sure with the fall shift if he's moved off the property or just with all the activity in and around the area. We had a lot of stuff going on in that area, basically. If he's just off a little ways, and he'll show up here soon, but we'll be keeping our eyes out for him. He's a potential target for me. And for those of you that were following along in the early portions of the off season, like when we were burning and doing our shed hunting, we talked about that junior buck on the home farm. I found that big match set last year. He showed up this summer. Last time I did an update on the main show, I didn't have any pictures of him yet, but he did finally show up, just a handful of pictures of him. He actually, as best I can tell, got smaller from last year. And he had that limp at the end of the year, and I don't know, I think he survived EHD the year before. I'm not sure if he's got hoof rot. Like, clearly his body is focused on other things as opposed to antler development, but hard to know, obviously. And I don't even know if he's alive at this point. I mean, the last pictures I got of him were almost 2 months ago, I believe. It's been quite a while. I did not see how he finished out. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that deer. I did strategically make some moves and install some food plots on the home farm to catch up with that deer. but at this point I'm not sure if I'm going to be hunting him. I do have quite a few mature bucks across the properties, and so a lot of those are going to end up being youth season targets, and I'm sure, while I haven't decided quite yet, I'm going to have a buck or two that I'll focus my story on and get chasing here at the beginning of October. Well, good luck to you guys who are already out hunting or about to get started. Really looking forward to the season here. We're going to jump over to the guys, get updates from them. Hope you guys enjoy the show.
Come on, baby. Just gotta do it once. Just gotta do it once. That was probably the coolest hunt I've ever had in my life, if not definitely the coolest hunt I've ever had on this farm. That was just gorgeous. Following them does, working that scrape. I was fired up. That deer got me absolutely going. There's just something special about a deer on your own home place. I couldn't even begin to tell you guys the amount of hours that both Drake and I have put in out here. The time. The last bow deer I've killed on this place was 2012. Sister killed a really good deer in 2019. Wife killed one in 21. Might be my new favorite day of the year. November 6th. That's one we will not soon forget. And it's burnt right into my brain now.
Takes me back standing here. It's burnt into my memory. So we are really, really excited about this spot. We've got all of the ingredients we need to get a deer within bow range. 7 years of putting this place together and doing the tweaks. I think this is going to be the one spot on the farm that the other spots are good. This is going to be phenomenal. All right, guys, it is August 18th, and we are out here on the home farm today, standing in the brand new food plot, and kind of the plot I am most excited about this year. This is old horse pasture, so we used to have 40 horses in and around this pond, so this soil around here is just compacted as all could be. So we tried to get a little bit of clover grown in here, just broadcasting it in the spring. It didn't really take over like crazy, so I decided to come back in here just a couple days ago, till this under, and went ahead and fertilized it and everything. So now we've got a good solid seed bed to spread our rut greens plus cold climate into. And one of the main reasons that I am super excited about this food plot here is, well, he was a big 4-year-old last year, but now he's the big 5-year-old this year. I couldn't take it any longer, so finally I did check cards here just a couple days ago, and I believe it was July 29th and August 8th, confirmed the big deer is back, he's alive, and looks phenomenal. He's got a little short 4s this year, but his frame just put on a lot of mass. He's got super long 2s and 3s, got some junk on his bases. As you can see, October 1st can't get here quick enough for me. I am very excited. This plot here is going to be a key piece to the puzzle to getting him killed. We have a 40% chance of a shot of rain tonight. Like I said, it's August 18th, and this, in the 15 day, this looks like it might be our last chance. So hopefully we catch that little rain, get these turnips out of the ground. We have tons of soil moisture from a super wet summer that we've had thus far. We're ready for success. Bring on October.
That's the lucky horseshoe. Whew. And it's only a real feel of like 98 out today, with what feels like 95% humidity. But plot's in the ground, it's fertilized. We got good seed to soil contact. Now all we need is a little rain to help us with a little germination. And the old horseshoe plot, I think, is gonna be in good hands. Well, we gotta let the old Hoyt sing true on this one. I'm gonna leave that running because he's not very far away. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think we're just gonna have to do this hickory right here and get all the way up in it. I've got some screw ends, and I think we just kind of plan on this hickory in the front being our main cover.
mean, those leaves are gonna drop super early in the season, but he was here daylight last night. We're planning on this happening early season. Decided we'd try to be a hair quieter. If he is where we think he is, he's for sure within 300 yards of us right now. Well, this is actually my first tree stand of the year to hang. Well, 2 weeks before season, but you got the move to make, you gotta make it. We're getting ready to go up. One thing you always do, always wear the harness, no matter what you're doing, even just hanging a set, even with climbing sticks, doesn't matter. Always stay tight in that tree. Did I? All right, here we are. It is September 21st. It's the second day of Iowa's youth season, and I hope you guys are excited as we are. As you can see, it has been a long year of work, you know, starting clear back in the spring through summer work, and really all leading up to last night. We had an awesome hunt with Charlie, saw a lot of good deer, finished it up with getting rid of the coyote that kind of spooked off the deer right at the end of the hunt. Didn't get our target. They're gonna be like right here at the scrape tree. Get ready. Wait for the deer to get scared first. The left one, right one, right one. Oh. Boom.
Hello.
Did you get him?
No, we got a coyote instead.
Oh. Alright, I'm by the gate here. I just heard you shoot.
Yeah, we just got a coyote. That 2 coyotes just came up and scared the whole field away.
Did you hit the coyote?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's laying right over there.
Alright, well that's good.
Oh yeah. Opening night of youth season. We got one. Maybe not quite a deer. Let's see.
Look at that shot.
It's gonna be your winter coat. Be gentle with it. We're turning into a coat. All right, let's get one picture with it. One down, 500 to go.
Amen to that.
Didn't get our target buck, but luckily we've got a good wind tonight. We're gonna head straight back to that same spot, and hopefully Old Man Jenkins can make his appearance, and Charlie can make as good of a shot on him as he did on that coyote last night. So it's gonna be fun. And if you guys remember from last year, the main thing that has me excited for October 1st this year is that big framey 10-pointer. A lot of that work in the off season was done specifically for that deer. I guess there's 3 main things that I did. One, due to the drought we've been having in the last 4 or 5 years, I kind of converted a lot of the plots on the place to clover exclusively. So I've got one plot that has brassicas and radishes in it, and that is the brand new food plot. So clover everywhere else, and then right next to where we had the encounter with this deer last year, we added a new food plot that's just in a perfect transition area from my monster buck forage beans into my no huddle mix, which is planted in this plot, to clover and corn on both sides. And we're gonna be hunting right on the berm of a pond. Just works out perfect. If you guys wanna follow kind of that whole setup, back in our off-season show, we kind of laid that whole thing out, and you can see just exactly what we did to tweak the farm for this deer. All of that being said, when we had that encounter with him last year, it was on November 6th, I believe, and that was my first time hunting the farm that year, and that's kind of when he settles in. He really settles into the core of the farm for the rut, and that's been his history for the last 3 or 4 years. So while we've got all those spots kind of dialed in for, you know, once the rut picks up and maybe a little bit later in the season, we did just have him daylight, actually last night, on a right in front of a brand new money set that we hung, but it's a spot that I got a lot of pictures of him last year. It was over a bean field in the summer, and it was corn this year, but they picked it super early. So that's gonna give us an opportunity to get in there and hunt it. Now the ingress and egress to this spot is kind of tough. We can get in it, but we have to exit through the cornfield. So it's gonna be kind of tough to get out, but it's gonna be a killer spot. So he's been there like 5 of the last 5 nights in the middle of the night, and then last night he daylighted for the first time after we hung that brand new muddy set. We've got a scrape set up right there. We're thinking that that could be the play for the first couple weeks of the season, and then, you know, we'll kind of play it out from there. But I'm excited. We've got a deer, he's regular. We have a set hung. Should be set up. So all we need is October 1st to get here, and we're gonna be rolling into that one. So that pretty much sums up what I'm excited for going into 2025. As most of you guys know, Drake Lamb and I film all of our hunts together, and he's been out west freelancing for the last couple weeks, but we were able to get a couple cameras out earlier in the season, and there's one buck that we're really excited about. It's Styx. It's a deer, if you've been following the show for a few years, you definitely know him. We've been hunting him for, I think, 4 years now. The deer's 7 or 8 plus. He's back, he's alive. So he's gonna be our #1 target there. We just got permission on a new piece of property that Drake was able to exchange some habitat work for, some honeysuckle removal specifically. So when he gets back from out west, the day one, we're gonna be out there putting out cameras and hopefully hanging a couple sets. We're really excited for that. October 1st is still about 10 days away. Could not be more excited for a season. Praying for a cold weather front here in the first couple weeks of October, and we think we got a couple moves we can make. That being said, we're sitting here on the 2nd day of Iowa's youth season. Last year that proved to be pretty successful, and we've got a little bit of rain coming in. Really appreciate you guys following along, and hopefully we have an awesome hunt tonight. So old man Jenkins, hopefully he's on his last couple hours. Hopefully we see him tonight.
All right, well, I'm super excited to see how Justin's season turns out with the Big Ten. I got to spend some time on that farm with him this summer. He's got it dialed in, and I think it's only a matter of time before it happens. As for me, you know, I've been hunting with Bella, Mike's in Canada, and we've had some good hunts, and we're gonna make a move on Tony tonight too. But right now, just over in yonder way, in that timber, there's a big buck on the ground. Cooper Marine and Collins Marine got it done last night, and he is on his way over here right now to do the recovery with me. So we found it this morning, and it is a stud. So that's going to be on the Midwest Whitetail Regional Series. That'll be out Thursday. Ton of great guys all across the country. If you guys aren't familiar with that series, please take time to watch it. Good dudes, time of year information, and something I'm really proud to produce. So check that out on Thursday. And you know, sticking with the theme of this show, kind of updates. As for me, I think it's gonna be a really exciting year. You know, last year, hunting a bunch of new permission farms, have those same farms this year, plus a couple more. And we have food on most of those farms this year. So I got Monster Buck forage beans in on some of them. I got rut greens in. Everything looks great. I couldn't be more happy with it. And on top of that, we've got bucks showing up. Specifically the farm I spent the most time on last year, the CRP farm. I've located 3 of the bucks I know from last year already. 2 are 5 plus, and 1 is a giant 4-year-old. So if you guys remember back on October 8th last year, I had a 4-year-old 10 come in, and I mean 10 yards, and he's back. Great looking deer. The fat 8's back. That's a deer Abby's really excited about. And I think he's super killable earlier in the year if he does what he did last year and wants the bed where he did. So we put in a plot just to hunt that side of the farm. He's one of the deer we're hoping to kill there. So excited for that. And then we have another deer who, for me, anybody who knows me knows I love tall, tight deer. And that's exactly what this guy is. I had an encounter with this deer in late November last year with a doe, and he blew up. And now, one of my main goals is targeting mature deer, but there's also a line where that would by far be my biggest deer ever. So I have not made a decision on that. That farm specifically has a great age class, and I think if I were gonna roll the dice, he has a good chance of making it. And they always say bet on the deer. So that's the way I'm leaning right now. I'm not saying that's a final answer though. So we'll see, but I'll definitely, before he's in front of me, I'll have a final answer whether we're gonna shoot him or not. So that'll be exciting. That's something I'm looking forward to for this fall. We've got 2 other new permission farms that should be great. Nothing exactly has shown up over there as far as a shooter for me. We have one of the big 10s from last year on the farm I ran cameras on last year. Super long beams, super mature deer. And that's gonna be the landowner's primary target. Hunted them all last year. And I think realistically is a good shot in early October as well. So that's my season update. I'm looking forward to this season. It's hunting season. We're out here. We got a recovery. We had that awesome deer in Kansas from John Landwehr. Now we got Collins. Super excited. And I appreciate you guys following along. It's gonna be a great season. See you later.
All right, well, here we are at the end of this first episode of Midwest Whitetails 2025 hunting season. And as you've seen, I mean, it's just a friendly reminder that the best time of the year is finally here. You know, getting to watch Mike tee up what he's got going on, Bella going after the Tony buck. And then it's just as far as even this morning with Rye and Collins and Cooper Marine getting to recover his biggest buck ever. You know, they shot the buck last night. This morning, Collins had to go to work. Cooper went to school. Some friends stepped in, and Joe, Rye, and our good buddy Bryce were able to go and find Cooper's buck. And in the most, you know, dramatic Iowa hunting fashion as a youth, he was pulled out of school and got to go recover his best buck ever. So I'm very, very excited for those guys. You know, Collins is one of my closest, dearest friends. And watching last night the FaceTime call from Cooper and him telling me the story was just a crazy time capsule moment, because it made me think about 2017. Collins killed his big buck that we called the White Patch 10, and Cooper was just a little baby, couldn't even stand above a turnip, and now he's holding a giant buck. And so it's just like Rye, like Mike said, there's a lot of great hunts that are going to be hitting that Midwest Whitetail regional channel, and that is certainly one that I'm very, very excited to check out. Now, before I move into the part of the show, which most of you are probably waiting on, which is announcing the winner of the 2025 opening day giveaway, I wanted to take one more second to highlight just who you can expect content from this fall. Obviously on this episode, you saw Mike Reed, Justin Carnes, Rye Ludwig, and I'm about to kind of dive into what to expect from my season. But overall, the cast that you can expect stories from this fall, it's not a big change. Looking ahead at next week's episode, we're hoping to hear from Drake Lamb once he gets back from the West, Owen Riegler, Devin Wills, Gavin Katerba, Zach Rosmus, which will make up the Iowa team. From there, Kansas, obviously we got Nolan Redeker and Justin, his dad. I actually just came back from a wedding where I want to give a special shout out to him and his beautiful bride, Macy. They just had a wonderful wedding that we were fortunate to get to attend. And now it's going to be a few weeks till we get to hear an update on the buck 40 because he's on his honeymoon. Jumping over to Missouri, you're going to have Tyler Bellman, Justin Lubrecht, and Mitch Malaris. Those guys are already open with the season. However, I'm not entirely sure if they've made it out quite yet. It's been very hot, and obviously they've got a new title and a more important job than ever in being dads. And then moving over to the state of Illinois, you're going to have Andy Melton and David Williams when they get on their rutcations. And then finally, I want to take a special moment to introduce a new team member in Brandon Quant. Brandon's a dear friend of mine. Him and I have known each other now for a couple of years. He brings amazing stories to life through the lens. He's got a great family. And so I'm really, really excited to get an update from him next week and the rest of the guys that I mentioned as we enter opening day. It's going to be a special season. We've got a special team of people who really, really put a lot of effort in doing their best job to tell these stories, bring it to you in a semi-live fashion. And I'm really excited to see what the season has in store. Okay, now moving into the giveaway announcement. First and foremost, I want to say a huge shout out and a sincere thank you to all of the partners of Midwest Whitetail that helped make this giveaway possible in the first place. You can look on this screen grab right here. All of these folks, they were generous and helped us put together the prize package that one of you is about to win. And the winner of the opening day giveaway for 2025 is the username DeermanKyle. Kyle, I'm assuming that's your first name. I reached out to you via the email you submitted, and I just want to say congratulations. I'm going to wait for 72 hours to hear back from you. Hopefully we do. If we don't, that's then going to prompt me to do another drawing. So if you guys have entered, hopefully Kyle responds, but if he doesn't, be on the lookout in your emails just in case we end up doing a redraw. Now on the same topic of discussion, obviously we've just concluded our opening day giveaway, but that only means that we're about to launch our next one. The Chasing November giveaway will kick off soon. Pay attention here on the next main show, on the social channels. All the entry details will be there, but I can tell you it's another great prize package. There's gonna be plenty of opportunities to win. And one of the most exciting parts about the giveaway is that included in the prizes is an unreleased 2025 Hoyt bow. So all those details will be coming to the channel soon. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to participate, and good luck winning. All right, well, with all that being said, if you're still here and continuing to watch, that means that you are going to learn a little bit more of what's been going on with me and what to expect moving forward for 2025. You know, the last 2 years, let's call it for what it is, it's been light. I haven't killed a buck. It's a somewhat, frustrating path that we've been on as far as success, but moving into this year, we've had a lot of things I feel like go our way, and most importantly, all the opportunities that I have are either coming from great friends or they're coming from really kind landowners that are letting me hunt. The last 2 years, we've really focused on that big bird property. This is now year 3, and the biggest storyline, for lack of a better term, is gonna continue to be that 6x5 buck. 2023, he showed up, same year we were hunting drop tine, but from what I could tell, he was always a bit more submissive and seemed to get pushed out by the drop tine buck. Fast forward to 24, he shows back up, we have him, he looks great. Drop tine disappears, we think he died of EHD, and I was really hoping that he would suck in and take over, but unfortunately that just wasn't the case. He did end up returning late season. We did put in quite a bit of hunts for him. Never saw the buck, really never saw any deer, but all of that information over those 2 years has really jump-started what our plan is for 2025. On the chase, you can see all these broken down detail by detail, but the quick summation is that one of the spots that we put in a lot of time into is what we're calling the pine plot. It was a black locust grove that Ryan and I hunted over, and just got this idea that this could be a really good spot for late season if 6x5 is to repeat what he did last year, this coming December and January. If you watch this transformation, there was quite a bit of work put into it. Minimal equipment. I was able to rent a billy goat mower. It's a way that I've been able to put in a lot of food plots over the years. You can find it at your local hardware store typically, or rental operation. And then from there, we sprayed. Drake Lamb was kind enough to come in and help me with the chainsaw. We got the plot cleared up, the canopy was gone. And then from there, we just broadcasted right before a heavy rain, got some seed to soil contact, and today it looks great. One of the things we've been fighting is the root suckers from all those black locusts. That is a problem to deal with this coming spring. But the plot looks great. Chose to go with the monster buck rut greens with cold climate, and then I also top dressed some radishes. And unfortunately, of all the bucks on the property, the only one that hasn't been through it or shown that he's found it is 6x5. As you can see in this photo, he is alive. He looks great. We got some really cool photos of him shedding his velvet, and then, Hardhorn is just another big frame, and he is slowly, every day, getting there later, and I just cannot figure out where the heck this deer lives. Hopefully, like I said, there is an opening in that hierarchy that he moves in and ruts there a little earlier, or, at this point being 6 or 7, chooses to suck in, but time will tell on that, not entirely sure. And then the other buck on the property is the buck I'm calling B-Buck. He's a buck I've known since 2023 as well. I'm very confident that he's a 4.5-year-old, and that's not to say he's not big enough to hunt. I mean, when you start looking at the antlers, giant. I mean, if I was able to wrap a tag around him this year, he very easily could be my biggest buck ever. But with the knowledge that he's 4.5 and having other bucks that are older to hunt, I just rolling the dice, and hopefully he decides to live, make it to 2026, and he could be the buck of a lifetime. Getting to watch guys like Owen, Bill, Mike over the years, getting to watch Mark, chasing the buck of a lifetime. You can't control a lot of things, but you can control whether you try to let them get to a certain age. And in Iowa, we're really lucky with our season structure that they do typically get a chance to do that. So we'll see. If another hunter does get the chance to tag him, I will be extremely happy for them. I hope that they let me know and I can come take photos for them. But that pretty much sums up the Big Bird property. No targets that I expect to be able to hunt during the fall, but rolling the dice, and hopefully 6x5 proves me wrong. Outside of that, a couple more permission farms that I've brought up. The Gridiron property that I'm hunting with my buddy Casey. We've started to finally have some really good bucks show up there. One big 9, had a big 8. And it's a spot that I really think is going to just continue to get better and better. Big Bird's one of those locations that once the crops come out, it really starts to get worse, and I expect it'll be the inverse out there at the Gridiron. So as the days progress, hopefully, you know, of all the bucks last year that we had on camera, it should be, you know, a pretty good fall, assuming that any of them made it. And then I guess the final thing that would be an update in Iowa is just that my main goal of the season is Joy to get her first deer at the bow. It'd be awesome if it was her first buck, but she's been putting in a lot of time shooting her bow, and we've got a couple of different spots, including on that horseshoe property that we're setting up just for her, trying to keep shots under 20 yards. And she's been putting a lot of work, and hopefully it comes together. So opening day is October 1st in Iowa. And then the final piece of my update is that one of the things I'm most excited about is my trip that I get to take to Illinois this year. You know, we've got great friend Chris DeSold, who you guys have seen on the show before. He shot the droppy buck back in 2021, I believe it was. He was kind enough to invite me down to come and hunt, and hopefully it's starting a tradition. But there's some great bucks showing up. Went there a few weeks back, helped them put out some new cameras, and the deer showing up make me very excited to get down there whenever that chance is. A good friend from Onyx, Jared Larson, is going to be joining me later in October, but that's not to say that if for some reason we start to get some early October cold fronts like Justin was wishing for in his Big Ten, that is more than likely where we will head. So, you know, that's really what I'm looking at this fall. Got plenty of big deer to hunt. It's been a great off season, and just again, very lucky to have good friends, great landowners that allow me to hunt. And I'm really excited to see what 2025 has in store. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode. I'm really looking forward to fall, and you know, looking ahead to next week's show. Hopefully we got some kills from the youth, and then we'll obviously have the updates from the guys that I talked about. But before we go, final thing I want to say is just a huge shout out and a huge thank you to all of you guys for taking the time to watch another episode. You know, I know that a lot of folks watch our shows on the televisions. You know, I think it's somewhere close to 85 to 90%. One of the things that, you know, I would ask if you guys have the time, please don't overlook how much it helps us to drop a like on the videos, to drop a comment and engage. You know, obviously, it's a huge part of what we get to do is your support, and you know, never goes unnoticed. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope more importantly, you have the best season of your life. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.